Welcome to this LET review on direct instruction. Direct instruction is one of the most structured and teacher-led approaches in the classroom. The teacher models first, guides students through practice, then gradually releases responsibility as students gain confidence and competence. For each of the 8 questions here, we'll cover the question type, the strategy for approaching it, and a clear explanation of why the correct answer is right, and why the others aren't. Let's go through them. Type 1. Best answer. The word best tells you to read all 4 options before committing to anything. More than one might sound plausible, and your job is to find the most complete and most accurate description of direct instruction. AEI says students discover all concepts independently without teacher explanation. That's discovery learning or inquiry-based learning, the opposite of DI. Eliminate AB says the teacher explicitly teaches skills through structured lessons. That's it. Direct instruction is always teacher-led, always explicit, and always structured. This is the most complete and accurate description. C says students learn only through long-term group projects. That's project-based learning, not DI. Eliminate C. D says the teacher avoids giving feedback during practice. That directly contradicts DI. Immediate feedback is one of its most essential features. Eliminate D, the answer is B. Read everything before you decide. Type 2. Combination. Before you look at the answer choices, evaluate each numbered statement on its own. One false statement will eliminate multiple options at once. That's the efficiency of this strategy. Statement 1. The teacher models skills. True. Modeling is the very first step in every direct instruction lesson. Statement 2. Guided practice is used. True. After modeling, the teacher walks students through the skill with support. Statement 3. Learning objectives are unclear. False. Direct instruction requires very clear, explicit learning objectives. Unclear objectives are the opposite of what DI stands for. Statement 4. Feedback is provided. True, feedback is essential. Without it, students cannot correct mistakes or confirm understanding. With Statement 3 identified as false, A includes only 1 and 2, misses 4, is incomplete. C, 2 and 3 includes the false one. D, 1, 3, and 4 includes the false one. Only B, 1, 2, and 4 contains exclusively true statements. The answer is B. Type 3. Negative format. Circle the word except before you read anything else. Your brain needs that visual cue to switch from find what's right to find what doesn't belong. Go through each option. A. Clear learning objectives. Yes, this absolutely belongs in DI. Explicit objectives are how the lesson begins. B. Teacher modeling. Yes. This is the defining first step of direct instruction. C. Unguided student discovery as the primary method. No, this belongs to inquiry-based or constructivist learning. In direct instruction, the teacher always guides. Students are never left to discover content on their own without structure. D. Guided practice. Yes, after modeling, guided practice is where students try the skill with teacher support. The answer is C, A, B, and D all belong. C does not. Type 4. Priority. In priority questions, the challenge isn't identifying what's correct. It's identifying what comes first. Think about the direct instruction sequence. Model to guided practice to independent practice to feedback. Before any of that can happen, students need to have seen the skill demonstrated. That's the logic. A. Assign homework. Homework is at the end of the cycle after practice. Not first. B. Provide explicit modeling. Yes. This is the foundational first step. You cannot guide students through something they haven't seen. You cannot assign independent practice before they understand what they're practicing. C. Conduct a final exam. That comes at the very end of a unit. not before practice. D. Ask students to research alone. That's an inquiry-based approach. It doesn't fit the direct instruction model. The sequence is model to guided practice to independent practice to feedback. The answer is B. Type 5. Situational. The scenario, students are making the same error during guided practice. Before you choose a response, ask yourself, what does this pattern of errors actually tell us? When the same mistake appears across multiple students, it's not a coincidence. It signals that something in the original explanation or modeling didn't land. This is a teaching gap, not a student failure. Ignore the error. Never acceptable in direct instruction. DI requires immediate corrective feedback. Ignoring errors means students practice the wrong thing. B. Provide corrective feedback and reteach the step. This is exactly right. The teacher identifies the gap, goes back, corrects, and re-explains. This is the DI response to a pattern of misunderstanding. C. Move to a new topic immediately. This carries the misunderstanding into the next topic and makes the problem worse. D. Reduce instruction time. Less instruction means less clarity. Also makes it worse. The answer is B. In situational questions, always identify the root problem first, then choose the response that fixes it. Type 6 analogy. The pattern here is A is to B as C is to blank. Define the relationship in the first pair precisely, then apply that same type of relationship to find the answer. First pair, direct instruction is to explicit teaching. What's the relationship? Explicit teaching is the most defining feature of direct instruction. It's what makes DI what it is. Apply the same logic. What is the most defining feature of cooperative learning? A. Collaboration. Yes, cooperative learning is built around students working together, helping each other, and learning through shared activity. Collaboration is its defining feature. B. Memorization only, not a defining feature of CL. C. Teacher lecture only. That actually describes direct instruction, not cooperative learning. D. Standardized testing, an assessment tool, not a teaching feature. The answer is A. Teaching strategy, its most defining feature. Apply that relationship both ways. Type 7. Cause and effect. The cause. A teacher skips guided practice and moves straight to independent work after a brief explanation. Project forward, yet what does this produce? Guided practice is where the teacher watches students try the skill and corrects any misunderstanding before they work alone. Without it, students carry whatever they understood or misunderstood directly into independent practice. A. Students may practice errors because they did not receive enough support. This is the direct and logical consequence. If the explanation wasn't fully understood, students will practice the wrong thing independently. They'll repeat and reinforce mistakes. B. Students will automatically master the skill faster. Speed without support doesn't produce mastery. It produces confident errors. C. The lesson becomes more systematic. Skipping a step makes it less systematic, not more. D. Feedback becomes unnecessary. D. I always requires feedback, especially when students haven't been properly guided through the skill. The answer is A. Type 8, all of the above. When all of the above is on the table, don't assume it's always right or always wrong. Verify each option individually. A. Teacher modeling? Is this part of a DI lesson? Yes, it's the first step. The teacher demonstrates the skill clearly before students attempt anything. B. Guided practice. Is this part of a DI lesson? Yes. After modeling, students practice with teacher support and corrective feedback. C. Independent practice. Is this part of a DI lesson? Yes. Once students have demonstrated understanding with guidance, they apply the skill on their own. All three are correct, and then in fact, they're not just possible parts of a DI lesson. They are the sequential structure of every DI lesson. Model to guided practice to independent practice. Every time. The answer is D. Check all three specific options, confirm they're all true, then choose all of the above. Quick strategy summary. Here's a concise walkthrough of all 8 strategies. A useful final review before the LET exam. Best answer. The word best means more than one option might be partially correct. Read all 4, then choose the most complete and most relevant one. Combination. Evaluate each numbered statement independently. One false statement eliminates multiple answer choices. Find it first, except/not. Circle the negative word before reading anything else. You're looking for the one option that doesn't belong. 3 will be correct, 1 won't. Priority. For direct instruction, the sequence is modeled to guide to practice. Always ask what must happen before anything else can follow. Situational. Identify the root cause of the problem in the scenario. Choose the response that fixes the cause, not just the visible symptom. Analogy. Define the relationship in the first pair precisely. Then apply that same type of relationship to find the answer. Cause and effect. Project forward logically from the cause. For DI, skipping a step produces consequences. Let the theory guide your reasoning. All of the above. Verify each specific option. If all 3 are true, choose all of the above with confidence. Padayon. You've got this.